Kelly, you send out Christmas cards?
No, we don't. We do not. I'm glad you're here, Dave.
Y'all used to.
We used to. We used to send out Christmas cards. It got to be such trouble for my wife to take the picture, and she's like, I'm not doing it this year, and then she hasn't done it since. About 5 or 6 years. But I like Christmas cards. I mean, I think that's a nice thing.
Only cards Dave gets are DNA test cards.
Negative.
I'm not the father.
I like a card.
And then Dave will say, well, how long should I keep this? I don't know.
It says proceed directly to the county health department.
At my place, no news, good news.
Yeah.
I want you to weigh in on this. I want you to weigh in on a few things.
Please notify all previous partners.
Okay.
Now that takes time.
I did. Merry Christmas.
You're negative.
Yes, that's what he would do. Weigh in on this for me now. A woman got kicked off of a plane. We just had that story in the previous segment because she was back and forth to the bathroom with diarrhea before the plane took off. She said she had sour stomach, and she's a nervous flyer.
Happens.
They kick her off the plane. They said that they didn't want her to get all the other passengers sick. She said, nervous stomach is all it is.
Plus, I think, and Biggie pointed this out, she was disrupting the safety procedures,
Correct.
the locking of the doors and all that.
Back and forth to the bathroom. So they kicked her off, and she burst into tears as she left the plane. She had left money on the plane. Now, they went back, got the money for her, and then she said, well, I want you to pay for my cab ride to a hotel and for a hotel room overnight because the next flight was the next day. And they refused.
No.
I think they only buy the hotel rooms if it's their issue.
Yeah.
Like, the plane breaks down or the flight is canceled.
And they have the right to kick you off the plane even if you're just sick? I mean, she said she was not contagious. She just was nervous, is what she said.
I don't know. You'd think there'd be a lot more of that on almost every on a flight with. I don't know how many were on this flight, but
You said it was a WestJet flight. I don't even know. I think
sounds
it was
like a small carrier.
small
but-
carrier. Yeah, I'm
But
not
on
sure.
a
how
plane
many.
that's got 300 people sometimes, or some of them have 2 decks on them. That not everybody. It seems like everybody would get sick at some point during the safety procedures. At least on one of those planes.
You think somebody's got a
Don't you
cold
think?
or something on
or got gut issues?
maybe. But a lot of times they'll wait till the plane takes
you can
off.
wait.
Yeah, then they don't kick you off.
A lot of airlines don't necessarily cover hotels anymore either.
Well,
as
not
many,
for that.
Yeah, as many delayed and canceled flights as there are.
They won't even give you the.
I think a lot of people, you have to basically browbeat them into
They
it.
won't for weather.
My goodness, I didn't know that.
Well, not for weather, but I mean, we've had a couple delays and they put us up.
So mechanical issues, they will put you up, according to Christian. How about this, Dave? Controversies. Okay, there's a lawmaker in Tennessee who wants to curb drunk driving by no longer allowing cold beer sales in convenience stores or grocery stores. Can't be sold cold because people will buy a cold beer and drink it in the car, and they find beer cans in cars where people have had drunk driving accidents. And at first I thought it's overkill. And then I thought, because Chris Demm told me people 5 o'clock on a Friday stop by a convenience store all the time, get a tall boy, drink it on the way home. Brown bag it. And I thought, well, maybe it's a good idea. Couldn't come down on it.
Yeah.
Is it in any state?
I don't think that. They'd have to do the research. What's the difference between that and just going to a bar and sitting there for 30 minutes and having 2 beers and then going home?
Well, no difference, but when people are literally drinking while driving, and it's just easy. It's just ease of access.
If they're caught, then they need to be taken care of, just like leaving a bar or leaving a grocery store or convenience store.
Well, I think this would prevent. I mean, according to him, the stats say it would prevent drunk driving accidents. And so then you're
it won't
heading
prevent
off.
them.
It'd be today's point. You wonder where people get intoxicated. Their home,
That's the
at a
research.
bar, at a restaurant, or getting a 6-pack and then drinking it in the car.
Well, you're not going to close bars, and you're not going to stop restaurants from selling alcohol. But if you do this and it reduced drunk driving by 15% or whatever, then it's a win.
But I do think, just from a logistical point of view, I mean, I understand his goal, but it does sound like it's going to be an enormous change to the groceries and convenience stores in Tennessee.
They will have, if the grocery store has a big refrigerated section.
Look at your standard grocery store. I mean, it's gigantic.
Yeah.
All the White Claws, all the hard seltzers.
But wouldn't it? I mean, we said it earlier. Couldn't I say, well, that'll save you money. Turn it off. Keep the beer there. Keep the seltzer there. It'll be warm. You just store it there. That's the same storage space, and now you don't have to run it. It's for now until you revamp your store. It's just off.
If you want to run a test on it, pass the law now and say we're going to do this in 2025 for 1 year.
See
and
how
we're going to see what the difference is in percentages of alcohol-related accidents. Now, also, nothing stops people from drinking at home and leaving home.
Well, of course, but
if it brings it down,
Then pass it fully.
People would say if it saves one kid, then it saves everybody.
Well, but I want to see the numbers on that too. I agree with you. Do it for 2 years, 1 year, and let's see what the numbers are.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If I was a grocery store, that's what I'd want. I mean, that's a lot of space. That's a lot of my money. Is people want to drink it when they get home, or they want to take it to a park and drink it, or they're going to take it to a tailgate and drink it.
Impossible if nobody can sell it. I mean, so you're not penalizing one store. They all have the same rules. You can't sell it, and I would say it would save them money because refrigeration costs, I'm sure, are huge.
Yeah.
So they would save money by doing that.
Well, it's apples and oranges too. But when you said this earlier, I went and did quick research, very quick. In Tennessee, in 2022, 28% of all traffic accidents were alcohol related. There were 289 deaths in 2022 for 1 year.
Okay.
There were 1,500 gun related deaths that same year.
Well, that's what the guy pushed back on, and he said.
I'm not saying one's better than the other, but you can work on two things.
Well, I agree. I'd be glad to have some gun related legislation as well.
I'm not saying get rid of them.
I'm not either.
No.
I'd like to see something.
But I'm saying laws. You're not outlining alcohol. In this
I agree.
Thing.
I agree. Make them hard to get.
But you can make a few changes.
Make it harder to get.
Oh boy, there goes Fun Time Friday.
Y'all brought it up.
We're on the same page. Well, you brought up the gun.
No, you brought
the gun thing. You know you did. You brought that in.
You're on the wrong end of a bullet.
You jotted that. Well, you've been
That's
shot.
true.
Oh, there he goes again.
You've been both.
Yeah,
There he's playing that card again. He's playing that card again.
Can't argue it.
Yeah. Oh, I've been shot. Oh, I've been shot.
You know what? That doesn't make you special anymore in this country.
He's been shot.
Not in this room. Half of us have been on the wrong end of the gun.
Chris been shot. He's had a gun in his face.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he got held up a gun.
If you're jealous, we can fix it.
La-ti-da.
And frankly, there's still a chance for the other two of us.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I've often said the last thing we'll hear is, "This is to purify the land."
That's right.
What?
The prophecy is fulfilled.
Michelle in Japan is talking about drunk driving and cold beer sales. Go ahead.
Well, hi, guys. But this whole evening, just listening to you has been so embarrassing for me as an American living in a different country. I look at what's going on in America, and what I see is all these states that are rushing around trying to demonize transgender people and make them like the big issue that's got to be fixed in all these states all over the place. But yet they're letting people get shot up. They're letting all these crimes happen. They're letting, all this stuff with the alcohol and all these drunk driving and all that stuff. And we just don't have that here. And the biggest reasons that we don't have that here is we don't have guns. You can't get guns. And you can't, you can buy alcohol anywhere you want. You can buy alcohol at the convenience store. I could walk across the street right now or at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and buy 40% straight liquor anytime I want. And there's no problems with drunk driving because they punish you severely. You'll lose your license instantly. You get a really stiff fine, and you can't ever drive again. Even if you're riding a bike, that's technically illegal as well.
So you're suggesting harsher laws on drunk driving and guns, certainly. I mean, I would be for harsh drunk driving laws. I think you should make them as hard as they possibly can be. I'm with you on that.
Well, I think they're pretty stiff now. I mean, you're supposed to lose your license and a lot of the steps that Michelle is referring to, but.
Well, wait a minute. Don't we hear that drunk drivers are like one guy, people get tickets 5 and 6 and 10 times. Are they driving without a license?
Yeah.
They're just breaking the law.
Yeah. Sorry, Michelle. I mean, it doesn't matter if you take the license away in the U.S. We still drive.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's the thing, too. All these cops.
It doesn't matter if you have a license.
That doesn't matter.
Cops always say they have no license, they have no insurance. It's a moneymaker, too, Dave.
Well, no, but fine people.
I'll give them a big fine.
Yeah, if you're drunk driving, then, if you go to court. You go through the court process, and then if you're found guilty or you plead guilty, it's $5,000, $10,000.
Well, you know what I thought you were going to say? Thanks, Michelle. I thought what you were going to say was it's a moneymaker for cities. They pull you over.
Well, that may be true.
They pull you over for drunk driving, and they get you for the fine, and then they pull you over again.
No, I think that's more. No, I don't.
You don't think that's true?
Not for drunk driving. No,
it's for speeding. It's
maybe
not for drunk driving. Dean, but wait a minute. Don't they camp out near bars, of course, at 2 a.m. to get people drunk driving?
I've heard that. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
I don't think they're supposed to do that, though.
Dean, you're talking about drunk driving, and the reason we got on this is there's a law being possibly passed in Tennessee that would make it illegal for convenience stores to sell cold beer because they find beer cans in cars. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Good morning. Dean from Charlotte, P1 here.
Thank you.
So these are all good intentions, great intentions, but let's look at the science. Why do Germans drink room temperature beer? Because the body assimilates the warmer beer and the alcohol in it faster. So what you're saying is now that you want to give people room temperature alcohol, they're actually going to get drunker faster on their drive home.
Oh, you think they would still drink it? You think they would still drink
Look
it
to
on
the Germans.
Nothing's going to stop the drinking part.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, all right. But we're conditioned to drink it cold.
That's true.
I don't think we do that.
By Guinness.
I don't know that we would drink it warm. That's certainly what they're thinking.
Yeah, but
in
he's
Tennessee.
right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
When we were kids, when we were teenagers, we went to England,
Yeah.
went to a pub. The drinking age was whatever it is, 16 or 17 there.
Yeah.
The beer was warmer because we were used to ice cold bush.
So let's say they did it. Let's say Tennessee passed this. Do you think people would still drink
Yes.
and drink them warm?
Yeah, and Yeti sales would triple.
Well, yeah. We drop a cube of ice in there or something.
Stanley Cup sales would triple.
Yeah, to keep
People
but
just plan differently.
yeah, and just do it.
They'll put them in a cooler.
Put a
before they go
cooler
to
in their
work.
car. They put
When
a
come out
cooler in
from
their
work.
car.
Yeah, be ready.
Red Dog, you're talking about drinking and guns. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I've been listening to this station for ever since it's come on the air, I think.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And people gonna drink. I mean, you can do what you want to. They still gonna drink. We don't need no more. We don't need no more gun laws. We got enough.
Why do you say that? Since we have so many shootings in this country, and other countries would say we don't have shootings here, like Japan or places in Europe, because we have stricter gun laws.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something. Once y'all ban guns over here, it's gonna be just like every other place. It's gonna be the government's gonna tell you what to do, when to do it, everything.
Well, I don't think anybody's saying we should ban guns, but perhaps some more strict gun laws so that we don't have shootings like we had. We have shootings so often now they're almost fading into the background.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it still ain't gonna be no. Like, it's no. Just do it. In other words, just
Can't argue it.
do the,
He's right. When you're right, you're right.
No more needs to be said. Close the topic, Dave. What are you doing? Come on.
What's going on this weekend?
Close
What
the
y'all
topic. Close the topic.
Talk about that cake. Dry cake.
Close the topic here, Dave. We're not talking about this.
All
anymore.
right.
Well, settle this. All right. This has to do with a P1 listener. It's another controversy. All right. This is much more light. This is much more lighthearted.
Please.
It's not about drinking or drunk driving or booze or anything like that.
Don't forget trans rights.
Well, Michelle threw that in now.
Yeah, we really
It's not even on the grid. You
really
think I
killed,
wrote?
killed the buzz on a Fun Time Friday.
Your computer don't type the word trans.
This whole show is hot beer.
Kelly's computer types trans and the word am comes up after. That's all it knows.
Did you mean trains? No.
No, did you mean trans am? No.
No.
It's a little heavy for a Friday.
I know,
I
right?
didn't mean it. I didn't mean it to do that.
What beer, huh? You're not gonna get it.
I thought it was.
guns?
I thought it was interesting.
'em.
I thought that law was interesting.
It is interesting.
And then Dave said something about guns, and then Michelle said something about trans rights. You think
Now you got poor Red Dog. Flummoxed.
You heard him.
You heard him.
Poor man.
You're right.
Yeah.
He's just trying to
Tried
get
to
through
help.
the end of
Tried
the
to
working
help.
week.
Today you'll quote him.
He's trying to try to quote Red. We should win a prize if you can quote exactly what Red Dog said.
I like Red Dog.
I did
I
too.
know.
In the last 30 seconds.
Look how long he's been with us.
Love the Red Dog.
You know what he's trying to say.